Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AskReddit. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. What are some street smarts everyone should know? If the situation doesn't feel right, it's not right. Trust your spidey sense. One day I was meeting someone from OfferUp to buy something. The address he gave me was on a sketchy part of town, but not the worst, so I agreed to meet him. When I was close, I texted him, and he changed the location to meet. Instead, he said to turn into a different street and just wait for him at the corner. I waited for about 10 minutes and I don't see anyone around, but the whole time I'm thinking I'm being set up. My GF felt uneasy as well, so we bailed. I told the guy off for changing the meetup spot and making me wait on top of it, then blocked him. Who knows what would have happened, but I feel like I dodged a bullet. Muggers and criminals often work in groups or pairs with one person trying to distract you. I work in a liquor store and all the small bottles, small enough to fit in pockets, are kept on shelves behind the till. Thieves often come in 2 or 3s, and one will come to the till and ask me 20 questions about the minis to try and get me to turn around and take my eyes off the store floor so their buddies can seize an opportunity to stick a big bottle down their pants. So I have all the mini bottles and sizes and prices memorized. LOL, they get so frustrated. You won't get mugged if you look like you're going to mug someone. That reminds me of a comedian. He was going about the scales of not getting mugged/fought, and he was like, act crazy. No one is going to try and fight a crazy person. How do I do that? I'm a small round-faced, glasses-wearing girl. I look like you could mug me by asking me what time it is. I'm asking that seriously. Do you have any advice on how to look more intimidating? I live in a big city and get followed/harassed at night sometimes, and I'd love to prevent that if I could. If you're going to be away on holiday or somewhere you're unfamiliar with for any length of time, it's a good idea to try to always make sure that someone knows roughly where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing on a given day. Even if you're like me and you don't like to plan out a full itinerary, a rough indication of what your plans might be can help work out your movements if ever there is an issue. But don't post about being on holiday, even vacation photos, until you get back. No need to advertise you are gone and your home is possibly empty. You should always be afraid of secondary locations. Street smarts. I've heard this before: if someone mugs you, be compliant and give them your stuff. It's just stuff, you can get more. If they try and take you somewhere else though, fight and scream and do anything to escape, because they don't want your stuff, they want you, and that's not replaceable. For most people, just keeping your head on a swivel and being aware of what's around you would be a big help. Put your phone in your freaking pocket. Source: grew up in the hood. Situational awareness is so important and so many people just don't bother. Also, take your headphones/earbuds off. Don't look or get stumbly drunk. Much less likely to have anyone mess with you if you look like you are aware of your surroundings and not distracted. Only break one law at a time. Accept solicitation of prostitution and illegal drug use. They're the PB&J of crimes. Drive it like you stole it. So very carefully, abiding by all traffic laws to reduce the risk of being pulled over. Yup, don't break a law while breaking another law. For example, if you have a bunch of drugs in your car, don't be speeding too. You'll get pulled over and major fucked just cause you couldn't keep it under the limit. Always know where the exits are in any place that you enter, so that you don't get lost in an emergency. Also, never place yourself in a hole in public where there is only one entrance and exit and no other people around. These are often crime hotspots. When we would, rarely, go out to eat as a family, my pops would only sit facing the door. I never thought anything of it until I was grown. Never place yourself in a hole in public. r/voyeurism begs to differ with you. Never flash your whole wad of cash in a public place while paying for something. Keep a few bucks loose in one pocket for spending. Keep the majority of your cash in a separate pocket. Don't open a wallet full of all your money where other people can see you. Used to work at a gas station. Local dealer used to come in and flash a wad all the time. You keep doing that and someone is gonna rob your ass one day. I'm a big guy, go ahead and try. My gun doesn't care how big you are. My elderly customers always do this, and it gives me hives. Like, Eileen, why do you have like 400 pounds in there? Put it the fuck away. Walk fast and look pissed off. I was doing this once and two guys threw a sausage at me. Pay attention when you cross the street on foot, no matter who has the right of way, the vehicle will destroy you. Lightly or heavily. Thanks. My dad had an expression about right of way in traffic: you might have right of way, but end up dead right. My dad has a morbid sense of humor and used to work traffic. One of his favorite stories goes that some fella ended up W2 broken legs, and his dad ambled over, was shouting, "But I had the right of way." My dad nods and goes, "Yes sir you did, but he had the truck." Every time we see someone take a chance, my dad rolls this one out. If a group of people suddenly get down, so do you. Dancing intensifies. But what if they get funky? If a stranger talks to you in public, and it's not immediately clear why they're talking to you, ignore them. Just keep minding your own business, don't look at them, and don't say a word. Most hustles start as just a friendly chat. Leaving out of Penn Station when visiting a friend, some guy gave the whole spiel about how he needed money for a bus ticket home. He didn't look all that down on his luck. So my buddy gave him $1, and then immediately he goes another. Since my friend had already given him the $1 and the fast response of another, he give him another $1, and the guy goes another again. I saw what was going on and urged him to leave, saying, "Come on man, don't you see the scam, let's go," but he didn't leave until he got bilked out of $17. Don't get into a car with a stranger. I had a 24-year-old international student tell me he didn't know how to respond when a guy on the street asked for money. He said he didn't have any, it was at home. The guy said he'd drive him there to get it. Again, the student didn't know what to do, so he got in the guy's car. They drove to his apartment, where the student went inside and hid until the guy left. I know. For an American this is completely unbelievable. My cat is more street smart. I wouldn't believe it if he hadn't told me himself. He was very late to class and clearly freaked out. There's a bit more to the story, and with each additional fact, my jaw dropped lower and lower. The kid was adorable and smart, hard-working student, but I kept thinking he should not be allowed outside on his own. Well, now you have to tell the rest of the story. Having good manners and speaking with respect will keep you from getting in trouble you didn't know was there. Be aware of surroundings, look like you belong either through body language, attire, or occupation, without being oblivious to things around you. The moment you look lost, out of place, or unsure is the moment you can look like a good target. If someone is looking at you with an expression questioning why you are there, be prepared to answer it with confidence and give an answer they would accept, or be prepared to leave before they can ask. Also be 3 feet tall, muscular, have shaved head and long beard. If someone offers you drugs, you say thank you. They're really expensive nowadays. Kids, don't buy drugs. Become a rock star and people will give them to you for free. If only being offered free drugs were as common as schools make it seem. Look up and notice if street lights have been shot out or smashed. If so, avoid those areas at night, there's a reason they've been disabled. Same with missing street signs. Wow. Literally have never been in an area where would be the case. Would sufficiently be creeped out. Do not trust taxi drivers if you are a tourist. I'm not a tourist and I still don't trust taxi drivers. When it comes to knife fights, the loser dies in the street, the winner dies in the hospital. First rule of knife fighting. You're gonna get cut. I moved to East St. Paul in a pretty bad neighborhood. My first day there I walked to the liquor store, paid, and put my wallet back into my back pocket. The dude working the shop was like, "You should put that in your front pocket on your coat." So I realized pretty quick how bad my neighborhood was. A good rule of thumb is just to trust your instincts. If people look like they want to be left alone, they probably do, and it's not your business why. Make it clear you don't give a fuck what they are doing, and better yet, don't even notice them. They might be uninterested in bothering you and just trying to do their business, but once your eyes are on them, now you're a problem to them. You don't want to be a problem to them. This worked well when I also lived on 38th/Chicago in South Minneapolis, and would frequently walk to Cup Foods or Chicago Lake Liquors. There was a crew who would be posted on the corner that I avoided eye contact with, and everything worked out fine. This isn't only about survival in a sketchy neighborhood, but all relationships. Your instincts tell you a lot about situations. They exist for a reason. You don't need to question them or challenge them logically, with the exception of severe mental illness. If you feel like somebody's lying, they probably are. If you feel like someone likes you, they probably do. If you feel like an opportunity is good, it probably is. All this being said, being in a sketchy neighborhood isn't all about danger. There's lots of lovely people, and as an alcoholic I'd frequently chat up my neighbors and shoot the shit when I was out and about. Just trust your instincts of their body language, leave me alone versus friendly, and don't start talking unless you got something funny or interesting to say, lol. Here are a few of street smarts that makes it harder for pickpockets to steal your stuff. When in New York City, odd-numbered streets go west, and even-numbered streets go east. Additionally, odd-numbered buildings are on the north side of the street, and even-numbered addresses are on the south. This guy is smart about streets. You might be correct when you have the right of way, but you're still the one that's going to be dead when you get whacked by the car if you're walking or on your bike. My friend's dad always said, the cemetery is full of people who had the right of way. The only people who ever truly win fights are those who successfully avoid them. Dealing with the legal consequences of a fight is not worth it for anyone who has work in the morning. I'll never forget a road rage incident in RI. Two drivers got into it on the highway. Both pulled over, mistake number one. One then popped his trunk, got the golf clubs out and killed the other one. Mistake number two. The guy who did it was a priest. Ignore all provocations on the road, and FFS, don't pull over. If you feel uncomfortable in a metro/underground car, slip out as the doors are closing. For bonus security, travel back 1 to 3 stops, then resume your journey. Having been mugged once, I'm gonna make him work for it if there is a next time. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Stay safe. If you feel like someone's following you, act like you're in a call with someone, just loudly talk to your phone. If you don't have a phone with you, act like you have earbuds in your ears and act like you're adjusting them while talking to them. If you're getting attacked, harassed, or anything like that, but nobody steps out to help you, try speaking to a specific person, like hey you in a red jacket, help me. It will make it more likely for them to help you because they feel personally called out and spoken to. Also try to be alone with sketchy persons and try to walk with small crowds, or make sure at least a person somewhere is passing by. If a child asks you to come outside, because their parents for example need a phone, because they ran out of fuel or crashed or whatever, tell them to ask a person that works here for a phone and leave as soon as you're done. It's a rather new strategy, using kids to bribe vulnerable-looking people to come outside, or to where they want them to be at to kidnap them or do other things to them. Don't stay out late or somewhere alone without people knowing where you are and about when you should come back. Just maybe tell a friend where you are going to go while talking as a side note just in case. Walk around your car before you get into it. Keep your head up and be alert, or at least look alert. FFS, turn off your car and take the keys with you when you stop at a store or gas station. Maybe it's because I come from a country with extremely high crime rates and it's second nature to double check if doors are locked immediately after you step out, but are there actual people who don't remove their keys because they think it'll just be a quick trip? That makes me so uneasy. If you're in a big city that you're not from and someone sketchy asks you if you're from there, say yes. Yes, I am from Moscow, just don't speak Russian. Eye contact. A lone assailant will often use the element of surprise to their advantage. If you're walking alone and someone is following you, make eye contact to let them know that you are aware of them. This will often dissuade them from attacking. This tactic has worked for me in the past. I was walking down the street at 3 a.m. in a bad neighborhood, don't ask why. Heard someone behind me, so I turned around and confronted him. I didn't act scared or hostile, just something like hey man, what's going on? The guy was thrown off guard, said he was mistaken and walked away. Pretty sure I was about to get mugged, could tell he had a gun in the waistband of his pants. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.